Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot. This is the tarot reading that really is light years apart from any other tarot reading I've ever seen or heard in my life. I've done tarot for over 20 years. In that time, I have come to discover tarot, it doesn't predict anything. I mean, once in a while, okay, maybe they get lucky with something, but really I haven't found any kind of consistency, any kind of accuracy. What I found is very much hit or miss. And so over the past 20 plus years, I've been trying to figure out, okay, so what the hell is tarot all about? And I figured it out. Tarot is the science of potential. Potential. We're taking a number of cards, and I do very few, 4 with a little oracle card in between. I'll explain all of that in a moment. I want a very good, tight, concise reading. I want a reading that is clear. I want a reading that activates pictures in your own imagination. I want to excite you about the idea of you taking those pictures and manifesting them in your life. You do already. You do already. I run into people all the time go, oh, manifesting is so hard, so hard. Oh, man, I can't do it. Yeah, you do. You do it all the time. In fact, by saying I can't do tarot or I can't manifest, you're manifesting that you can't do it. We very easily go negative. We're programmed that way, I think. Maybe it goes back to the caveman days when you had animals that wanted to eat you and you were always kind of looking for, okay, what's going to come after me? Maybe that's how the brain got wired that way. Maybe it was wired from the beginning to be that way. I don't know. Anyway, we do things negatively. And the power of the negative in a human being is seen on the planet right now. In fact, the guy who was the head of propaganda for Germany, when he was on trial, Nuremberg trial, they asked him, how did you get the German people, who were probably the most intelligent in Europe, had the best economy going, they had a great lifestyle, how the hell did you get them to do this thing with Hitler? And he said, we scared them. You stop and think about it. You want to get somebody's attention. You want to move somebody. Scare the shit out of them. You got them. You got them. And I think we see this a lot in business and a lot in Congress. You notice how fast politicians are useless. In fact, the best man who described politicians was Mark Twain. He said about 150 years ago, he said, politicians are like diapers. They need to be changed often and for the same reason. Couldn't say it better myself. Didn't say it better myself. He was right on point. They're shit. And that's being disrespectful to poop. Well, you notice how, if you followed politics, Democrats, Republicans, up until about 2020, yeah, they were working together nefariously very often, but there was some kind of line of distinction. 2020 on, wasn't the case. Everybody got more stupid, if that's possible, more in line, more lockstep. There was virtually, at that point, in an obvious way, no difference between Democrats and Republicans. They were the same. They didn't give a damn about the voters. They didn't give a damn about the citizens and their rights and the Constitution. Didn't give a damn. They were operating on a different level. You knew they were bought and sold, or they were scared. Something serious had to happen around 2020, give or take a year. Because when you get everybody falling in line, same things in the same way, verbatim, something's up. Something's up. So what I want you to do is to be inspired. I want you to use that kryptonite that every human being has, and that's the ability to manifest. Create your images in your mind. Don't go to Grok. Don't go to GPT. Don't go... Screw all this technological crap that they're throwing at you. I know it's easy, it's fun. God gave you a brain that at this point still has a function that robots don't have. You can manifest. You can put pictures in your own head and you can help create that stuff. You just have to flip it and make it more positive. That's the tricky part, and my job is to try to get you to move in that direction. So everything I do is aimed to be simple to the point. And with that idea, I also add in astrology and numerology. I've done astrology 50 years. I've done numerology 50 years. They are the science of cycles. Tarot is the science of potential. You need the science of cycles to maximize the potential. So I am constantly going back to astrology, but in a very simple way. Most astrologers throw a ton of garbage and gobbledygook and word salad, and just they throw this, it got conjunct this, got inconjunct that, you got the nadir, you get to meet him, you got all these things here that you got to, it's like that. Where do you communicate with the people who want to get the chart stuff? Where do you communicate with the people who are listening to you? Well, I can't do that there because I got all this stuff here I got to do. Is I can show people how smart I am. I don't do that. I'm not smart. I'm fighting my way through this stuff just like everybody else. So I take tarot and I say, okay, I look at it as a laser beam. If I can get the frequency, I can start to manifest. But to know what the hell I want to manifest, to find that frequency, I got to know where I'm starting from. And that's where the astrology and numerology come in. So very often, I will tie together the general astrological principles, getting away from the jargon, which is just garbage. It doesn't mean anything to you, and doesn't, frankly, to the people doing the charting, doesn't even really mean much to them. But I want to get you the essence. For example, real quickly, and I've done this every day and probably will continue. The planet Pluto stands for evolution. The planet Uranus stands for revolution. Evolution, revolution, okay? Those two had a relationship 1776 when we signed our Constitution. It was Uranus and Neptune that had a relationship at the Civil War. And here, 250 years later, Pluto has gone all the way around. It is back at the same spot it was during the American Revolution 250 years ago, and so is Uranus. And look where we are. Evolution, revolution, same energy going back to 1776 is here again. We literally could rewrite our Constitution. We literally could disintegrate as a country. We literally are facing the same energy that we did back in 1776, 250 years ago. So, with that in mind, now we look to the tarot. Oh, by the way, too, one more thing, throw in a numerological. It's a number 9 year, universal 9 year. That means endings. Also, in Chinese astrology, year of the snake. What do snakes do? Periodically shed their skin. That's exactly what we're doing. Coming to an end, we have to shed our skin. That puts us in a very vulnerable position. That's where we are. Enough of the numerology, astrology. Got it. Now, let's go back to the thing that we're focused on here, tarot. We see the middle card as the oracle card. It says fork in the road. Just what I said. Literally, we are at the fork in the road. Number 9 year, universal year 9, the endings. It's the year of the snake shedding our skin. Got the same energy we had during the American Revolution coming right here now. Get the theme? Get the theme? So we're at a fork in the road. Number up in the left-hand corner is 1 and 3, 13. 1, beginnings. 3 means aligning the human trinity. That's what I call it. Taking the frequency of the mind and the body and the spirit, and you line them all up. For people who are familiar with gasoline engines and how they operate, 4-cylinder, 6, 8, 12, whatever the case may be, to get the engine running properly, you got to get all those little cylinders lined up properly. If they're out of sync, the car either runs like hell or it's not going to run at all. But you line them all up. You all get them lined up in the same frequency. Boom. And that's what we're talking about. That's what the 3 is about. 1 says you want to begin. The 1 and 3 together equal 4. You're looking for stability, a foundation. That's the fork in the road. You are looking to establish something to build from. It's time to start over. That's why you're at the fork in the road. Which way are you going to go? I don't know. Oh, by the way, today is, of course, April 1st. And without the astrology, just generally, I looked up what April Fool's Day, how it began, and it's convoluted. It could be religion. It could be politics. Nobody's really sure as to how the hell April Fool's Day started. There was probably some conflict with the calendar because we did some changing in the Middle Ages with our calendars. So that could be what thrown it off. But more to the point, April 1, 1866, right after the Civil War, there was the Battle of Five Forks. U.S. Congress turned down a presidential veto. What that did was give civil rights, equal rights to everybody. Blacks could vote in elections. Big deal. April 1st, 1866, the Battle of Five Forks. Equal rights in voting. Also, 1976, Steve Wozniak started Apple Computer. April 1st, 1976. So there you go. The Battle of Five Forks, Apple Computer, April 1st. Hope you're starting something exciting and you're choosing a good option for yourself. So that being the case, let's get to the meme for today. The meme says, children questioning rules and traditions you expect them to automatically follow is a sign of intelligence, not trouble. You want the kids to question. Please question. Lose the idea that unquestioned obedience is a signal of goodness. No, that's just a person who never thinks for themselves. And when you don't think for yourself, you're easy to manipulate. And most people in the world don't think. Now, in part, they keep us busy. They keep the game is rigged so that you really don't have a chance to even catch your breath. That's not the point. Here in the United States especially, we talk about government by the people, for the people, of the people. Your government sucks? Guess who's responsible? You and me. We're the people. So if you think it's a shithole, you and I have made it together. That's why this is a time to have a fork in the road moment. You need to CHEW-zing. And I use the word, if you see on the screen there, CHEW-zing, over the word choosing. You have to digest. Chew. You got to chew on what your options are. You don't just follow through because somebody else said. Study, look, research, think for yourself. Choose. Make sure it's like a good meal you want to digest. This is what you have to do. You have to digest where we are and where you want to go. Let's begin. All the way to the left, you got the Five of Wands. Wands are positivity, excitement, joy, enthusiasm, gratefulness. The 5 is conflict, bickering. It's not important. It's just a lot of noise. And the more noise, the better. Doesn't amount to a damn thing. You're not accomplishing anything. It's just bickering. It's bullshit stuff. It doesn't really matter. And you take a look at the social situation. That's what it is. Calling names, people deciding that they're not going to think, they're just going to be obedient because that makes you a good person. No thought to what the hell they're agreeing to. No thought about what they're doing. Just, I'm going to be a good person. Well, it turns out that you're not. There's a ton of bickering, a ton of noise. The wars you want to get into. It's all it is noise, and that's what the Five of Wands is. The next card over, Knight of Wands. Knights always bring gifts. The Knight of Wands bring confidence, courage, passion. And when you have that attitude, you are opening yourself to CHEW-zing, digesting the world around you so that you can make a good choice. You can figure which road you want to take. But you have to get involved. Remember, tarot is the science of potential. You're the potential. What do you choose? Next card over is the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is real simple. It is having a solid, safe, secure value system. Are you going to pay attention to things, or are you going to pay attention to what really counts? Friendship, love. You can't buy those things. Either someone likes you or they don't, they love you or they don't. You can't make it. How about peace? How important would peace be as a value? How would you like peace in your life? True peace. Those are the value systems. Buying another car, if you can afford it these days, it's not going to change your life. Bigger house, not going to change your life. More clothes, not going to change your life. Fame, not going to change. In fact, Jim Carrey, and I don't have the exact quote here in front of me, but he said at one point, you know what I wish for everybody? Get rich. Have all the money you want. You're going to find out it doesn't buy a damn thing. Jim Carrey, the actor. And that's what the Ace of Pentacles is all about. So the final card, appropriately, is the Two of Pentacles. Twos are always making a decision. Fork in the road, fork in the road. Maybe that's the thing. You have to decide what your value system is. Maybe that's the decision. That's the fork in the road. You have to digest your world, how you fit in your world, what you're looking for in your world. You have to choose. Chew on the information, chew on the feelings, chew on the facts. Let it digest, and then make a choice. It all begins with us individually. I'm not going to save the world. You're not going to save the world. But together we can help save ourselves. And in so doing, we're going to save the people around us. And in so doing, they will save the people around. It doesn't take a whole lot to have a whole lot of effect. Positive. It's time. It's time for a change. Snake year, number 9 year. We got the same energies we did during the American Revolution. It's all here. We're right on the edge. We're right there. Choose. What are you going to value? You're going to keep doing the same thing we've done? Well, you're going to get more of the same. And man, that's a shitty stick. And you're going to get the dirty end of it. Or are you going to instead digest the world, yourself, the position, and then take the fork in the road? Time for a change. It's up to you. Science of Potential, Tarot. That's the reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another Tao Manifested reading between now and the next time you and I get together. And I hope it's soon, maybe tomorrow if I'm lucky. Peace and blessings.